Hey everybody, good morning. Yes, I am dark and divisive, and I'm planning on being as divisive as I can today. And I'm a little darker because I got a lot of sun this weekend. I know it's hard to tell in this light, but happy Monday. Happy post 4th of July. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I certainly did. Spent some time up the lake with my son's friends and his, I don't know, if I dare call them future in-laws. I don't know what. Anyway, his girlfriend's parents, we spent the weekend up at their cabin, and it was a lot of fun. Holy smokes. The people were out in droves at the lake, and lots of fireworks, lots of boats, and it was a lot of fun. So, good morning, everyone. We'll get into it after the intro, which I'm going to play right now. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. All right, stop the music. Yes, I realize the flag looks a little washed out. I got some technical glitch going on here. Haven't figured out how to fix it. My backgrounds are all faded, but hey, that doesn't mean that this flag is faded. It just means that's a technical thing that I don't know how to fix yet, but I'll figure it out one of these days. Good morning. Welcome. Wait a minute. A little coof. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with me, your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Night, which I'm called on the internet. And welcome back to the P-Dog Night channel. It's Monday, July 6th. It's my mom's birthday. So everyone say, happy birthday, Juanita. I pretty much checked out over the weekend. Like I said, I went to my son's girlfriend's parents' lake home up in northern Minnesota. Great time. A lot of fun. I mean, a bunch of his friends were up there. A bunch of their other daughter's friends were up there. In fact, I realized at about midnight on Saturday that except for the cup of coffee that I had in the morning and the bottle of water I had at 1 in the morning, I didn't have a beverage the entire day except for those two that didn't contain alcohol. It was quite the day. Let's put it this way. We went through about 80 of those truly seltzer, whatever water things that have booze in them, and then we had I over the course of Saturday I made 9 gallons of margaritas. And then also one of the girls was making Colorado Bulldogs and pina coladas, and it was just, and look, I never got drunk because it was very paced out, very slow along the entire day, but we had fun. We went out on the boat, went jet skiing, set off fireworks off their dock, and everyone else got to sit back and watch. And it was a lot of fun. And I may even have a video about that'll include some of that on my other channel. I'll let you know when we do that. But anyway, well, yeah, 80 Trulies, and yes, Zero the Hero. Well, there were how many of there were us? I mean, there were like probably 35, 40 of us there. So I mean, even though it's over the course of an entire day, going through 80 Trulies is not probably that big a deal. I don't think 3 or 4 a person, and that's not even average. And that's over, but that's, start early in the morning. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. And I kind of lost track of the world for 2.5 days because we went up there Friday evening, spent all day Saturday there, came back Sunday morning. And I didn't pay attention to the news, and I knew that there were things going on. I know that the president was going to have his speech out at Mount Rushmore. They're going to have fireworks. I knew there'd probably be more of these massive, increasingly nonsensical protests going on. And I say nonsensical, not that there isn't a cause underlying the protest, but the protests themselves are somewhat nonsensical. They're based. I believe they are orchestrated. I don't know if I can say that, but I believe there's a different driving force behind these that is keeping them going, and it's all, it's media driven somewhat. It's social media driven, but someone's planting a seed somewhere because they're all kind of doing the same things, all saying the same things. And it's kind of a bit of an indictment on our education system, because a lot of these young people have become so, dare I say, woke because of what they're learning in schools. Now, what's interesting about it, though, is I saw a survey somewhere on Friday before we left that high school students are more, I don't know if the word patriotic is the word, but more pro-America. And college students are much less pro-America. And so a lot of it's what people are being taught in colleges. A lot of it's, but the teachers too. A lot of the teachers are like this. But anyway, let's do a quick round of hellos and then get into some of the stories I want to get into, or some of the commentary. Some's commentary, some stories, some's just shit that I thought was funny. But let's say good morning to everybody. So I'm going to scroll back up in the chat. Zombie Teddy was here first and gets the bell. Good morning, sir. Also, good morning to my friend from down under, Richo. Also, Rolling Bear, Duck Dog, Jaeger Pony, Midnight in Exile, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Let's see. I said Midnight in Exile. Let's see. Jonas Pedersen, Tyler F, Wikipedia Snippet, who gave a little handshake or hand wave and a smiley face there. Good morning to, and now I got to scroll. City Rochelle, good morning. And I got Kyra Alexander, good morning. Mike Savage, Blarg. Select a boy.
Yeah, boy.
Good morning to Gamer Valine. Everyone say happy birthday in the chat to Gamer Valine. It is her birthday today. Happy birthday, my dear. Also, Zero the Hero. Amy in Connecticut. I'm sorry. You guys got here early. Of course, I had the show set up early, so you probably got early notifications, so that's good. I'm hoping you're not missing it. Good morning to the gayest person on YouTube. How you doing? Also, good morning to Renee Mayette, Dark Isle, Advocatus Diaboli, the Devil's Advocate. I think I've gotten just about everybody so far. I might. This is a fine tan you got. Yes, I did get a fine tan. I actually wore a tank top, and the rest of my farmer tan, non-tanned area got burnt over the weekend. Let's see. Renovacio, how you doing? I see you there. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I'm trying my best. Stabbing Joe Scarborough, good morning. Sean DW, what's up? What's up? Attack Alpaca. Mr. Hugh. And I think that's it. I think that's everybody who's in the chat right now. But if you're lurking or just watching at work or listening while you're driving, I am so happy that you're here. Do any of you people sleep? Rod Line, it's 9 in the morning where I am, and 10 in the morning if you're on the East Coast. Now, some of you might be on the West Coast where it's 7 a.m. But, that's all good. That's how it is. Chi-Town J, how you doing? Okay, let me do a couple thank yous, too, because I see I'm getting notifications over on the Twitter machine. Oh, wait, I got to send these out real quick. I didn't send my show out. Hang on. Let me click a few times. If you'd be so kind, if you follow me on Twitter, Minds, Gab, Parler, Twitter, Minds, Gab, Parler. Those are the four. Retweet the show, repost the show, republish the show, reparlay the show. Or you can click the share arrow down below, and that would you can send it out to whatever social media you want. I greatly appreciate it. Why did my tweet not go? There we go. And a couple quick thank yous before we get started. Thank you, Cynical Lindsay, Cindy Rochelle, Jaeger Pony, and looks like that's everyone who's tweeted out the show so far. So thank you. I appreciate it. If you want to hit the likes button sometime during the show. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe and the bell. And also, Twitter, Minds a Gab, and Parler. You can follow me up there. And super chats through the Streamlabs link in the description down below. You know the drill. You know the deal. In the immortal words of Joe Biden. C. Thomas! I see C. Thomas in the chat also. Good morning, sir. Did everyone wish Gamer Valine a happy birthday yet? Please, get on that. Say happy birthday to Gamer Valine. 3 p.m. in Ireland. If you're not awake here by now, you're dead. Or you're just waking up from last night's bender, right? Oh, catch the show later. Okay, Gunfox. Well, thanks. Oh, Gunfox. Hi. I see you too. And you're at work. Okay, so good. It's good that people are working. All right. Let's get into it. So, now while I am, or can be, dark and divisive. Oh, I forgot. I do have the reparations coffee with me, and everyone take a sip. Cheers! Happy post 4th of July. I don't know what a word for it is. Festivities, whatever. Postmortem. Join me in a sip. All right, let's go. So, the real reason that I entitled this stream Dark and Divisive, because the president made a speech at Mount Rushmore on Friday night, the eve of the 4th of July, right? Oh, is it rock and roll today? Yeah, sure. Let's see if this works. It seems like my internet's come back to almost normal speeds, which for me is, in the 500s as far as download and about 50 uploads. So maybe, which I was having a problem before. Let's go. We'll go. You know what? We're going to go with metal today because it is Metal Monday. Let me just cue that up. Make sure it's not too loud. Make sure I've only got instrumental versions. And let's just, here, we'll do it so I make sure I have enough to go. I probably should, I did this, I set this show up early, and I'm still being the unprofessional hack that I sometimes am. Okay, let's see. It is Metal Monday. Let's pause that. You're going to have to tell me if this is too loud. All right, let's unmute. And that seems to be about right. It's Metal Monday on the Morning Night Live. Ken L, Superman's distant cousin, is in the house. Nice to see you. All right, so let's get back to what I was talking about. Dark and divisive. Apparently, Donald Trump's speech, according to the New York Times, was dark and divisive. Now, I'm thinking, okay, that was the first thing I saw, because I opened up Twitter and something about Donald Trump's dark and divisive speech. I'm like, oh, what did he do that made the speech dark and divisive? Because this was just kind of a 4th of July, president kind of speech, right? Not anything that's supposed to be dark and divisive. And I'm thinking, okay, we'll have to get into it. And I said, okay, I'm gonna look around and figure out what was dark and divisive about it. And then, but then I found this thread on Twitter, which I am going to highlight today, because the media seemed to have a theme that they wanted to portray of this speech, right? And the words dark and divisive came up over and over again. And I think that, and this was even before the speech came out, I'm pretty sure all these stories are written before the speech came out, because some of them almost sounded like they never even listened to the speech. And so I'm like, okay, here we go. And this Drew Holden did a nice little thread here, and we'll go through some of the examples he gives. But he says, in honor of our nation's Independence Day, I put together side-by-sides of the media's coverage of Donald Trump's speech versus the text they purport to describe. Okay, good. Now, and of course, we got Brian Stelter right off the bat. Fox's framing the morning after Trump's dark and divisive speech at Mount Rushmore. Why the New York Times was wrong to describe the speech that way? Now he's talking about Fox's framing. Well, okay, was Fox right or not? Let's see. So, let's go with the Washington Post. Okay, here's the Washington Post. Their tweet. At Mount Rushmore, Trump exploits social divisions, warns of left-wing cultural revolution in dark
Gotcha, bitch.
speech. Excuse me, wrong sound effect. In a dark speech ahead of Independence Day. Oh, good morning. Thank you, C. Thomas, with the first super chat of the day. And it's number one because it's the first one of the day. If you're first super chat of the day, you will put up the little K-pop babe dancing around. C. Thomas says, with the $2 super chat, first, penis all in your face. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And second, all over social media on the 4th was the most anti-American homosexual bullshit these China lovers could muster, and good going questioning whether or not America should exist at all, because the 5 engines left were offended. Yeah, it was incredible that the hate that these people harbor, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's necessarily a hate for the country. I think it's just they hate Donald Trump so much right now, some of them, that they just they can't help themselves. This isn't about, it stopped being about police brutality and Black Lives Matter, the idea, when the mayor of Washington, D.C. painted Black Lives Matter on the street and changed the name of the plaza to Black Lives Matter Plaza, just to try, and fail, to annoy the president. Okay, it's not about George Floyd anymore. It's not about police brutality anymore. For some, now there are some that I'm sure it still is. It's all about the politic. Okay, it's all about Trump. It's all about the upcoming election, and it's all bullshit now. And never about police brutality ever. In a way, it was in the beginning, but that did not last very long. Anyway, so here's the Washington Post. Dark speech ahead of Independence Day. In contrast, here's the president. We gather tonight to herald the most important day in the history of nations, July 4th, 1776. At those words, every American heart should swell with pride. Every American family should cheer with delight, and every American patriot should be filled with joy, because each of you lives in the most magnificent country in the history of the world, and it will soon be greater than ever before. And he got applause. Okay, so that's the first one. ABC News. President Trump pushes racial division, flouts virus rules at foot of Mount Rushmore. Donald Trump. Our founders launched only not a revolution in the government, but a revolution in the pursuit of justice, equality, liberty, and prosperity. No nation has done more to advance the human condition than the United States of America, and no people have done more to promote human progress than citizens of our great nation. It was all made possible by the courage of 56 patriots who gathered in Philadelphia 244 years ago and signed the Declaration of Independence. They enshrined a divine truth that changed the world forever when they said, "All men are created equal." Pushes racial division. Okay, ABC News. Oh, but wait, there's more. MSNBC, also known as MSDNC. Also, well, never mind. I was going to say something about them being retarded, but you can't say retarded on YouTube anymore. Oops. MSNBC. Ogallala Lakota tribe member Nick Tilson says Mount Rushmore is a symbol of white supremacy. When you carve out 4 men who were colonizers who committed genocides against indigenous people, and for that to be okay in society today is fundamentally wrong. This now remember, this is the same Lakota tribe that's well, let's just say they took this land from the Cheyenne, but I'm not gonna. I probably shouldn't go there. Yeah, MSNBC. Let's see. What is he? Let's go to Trump. These immortal words set in motion the unstoppable march of freedom. Our founders boldly declared that we are all endowed with the same divine rights given to us by our Creator in heaven, and that which God has given us we will allow no one ever to take away, ever. 1776 represents the culmination of thousands of years of Western civilization and the triumph not only of spirit but of wisdom, philosophy, and reason. Okay. Now someone name. Let's see. CNN Culture War of Bonfire before these figures were immortalized. Okay. Here it is. Someone named Ryan Sturck from CNN. In a jaw-dropping speech that amounted to Culture War Bonfire, President Trump used the backdrop of Mount Rushmore Friday to frame protesters as a nefarious left-wing mob that intends to end America. Trump tries to drag America backward on a very different 4th of July. President Trump. Before these figures were immortalized in stone, they were American giants in full flesh and blood, gallant men whose intrepid deeds unleashed the greatest leap of human advancement the world has ever known. Tonight, I will tell you, and most importantly, the youth of our nation, the true stories of these great, great men. From head to toe, George Washington represented the strength, grace, and dignity of the American people. From a small volunteer force of citizen farmers, he created the Continental Army out of nothing and rallied them to stand against the most powerful military on earth. A little bit of contrast there. But we have more. Deeb Obadiah, TDS sufferer extraordinaire. Let's be clear. Trump, in his speech at Mount Rushmore, declared war on all those who aren't loyal to him, saying, "We don't love America," and literally called us fascists. Trump is a dangerous, dangerous man whose 2020 campaign strategy is to inspire violence. Holy shit. Has Dean been watching any of the news in the last month? Holy shit. Donald Trump. We remember that government exists to protect the safety and happiness of their own people. A nation must care for its own citizens first. We must take care of America first. It's time. Oh, here's the really controversial part. We believe in equal opportunity, equal justice, and equal treatment for citizens of every race, background, religion, and creed. Every child of every color, born and unborn, is made in the holy image of God. We want free and open debate, not speech codes and cancel culture. We embrace tolerance, not prejudice. Oh, but the LA Times has something to say. At Mount Rushmore, Trump uses 4th of July celebration to stoke a culture war. Donald Trump. We will state the truth in full, without apology. We declare that the United States of America is the most just and exceptional nation ever to exist on earth. We are proud of the fact that our country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles, and we understand that these values have dramatically advanced the cause of peace and justice throughout the world. We know that the American family is the bedrock of American life. But there's more. NPR, National Public Radio. Good morning, Chief Fuzzy Bear. Hello, Chicago Mike. What's happening? Glad you're here. On the eve of Independence Day, President Trump delivered a speech at Mount Rushmore National Memorial condemning protesters who want Confederate statues and monuments removed, as well as what he called a new far-left fascism. Yep, I'm pretty sure he was talking about all the protesters, not the people breaking shit and tearing down even statues of abolitionists. Donald Trump. Abraham Lincoln, the savior of our Union, was a self-taught country lawyer who grew up in a log cabin on the American frontier. The first Republican president, he rose to high office from obscurity based on a force and a clarity of his anti-slavery convictions. How dare he?
How dare you?
Very, very strong convictions. He signed the law that built the Transcontinental Railroad. He signed the Homestead Act, given to some incredible scholars as simply defined ordinary citizens free land to settle anywhere in the American West. And he led the country through the darkest hours of American history, giving every ounce of strength that he had to ensure that government of the people, by the people, and for the people did not perish from this earth. And then we have Ryan Strick from CNN again. Again, the same street. In a jaw-dropping speech that amounted to culture war bonfire, President Trump used the backdrop of Mount Rushmore Friday night to frame protesters as nefarious left-wing mobs that intend to end America. President Trump. America harnessed electricity, split the atom, and gave the world the telephone and the internet. We settled the Wild West, won 2 world wars, landed American astronauts on the moon, and one day very soon, we will plant our flag on Mars. We gave the world the poetry of Walt Whitman, the stories of Mark Twain, the songs of Irving Berlin, the voice of Ella Fitzgerald. Oh, shit, he even got a black woman in there. The style of Frank Sinatra, the comedy of Bob Hope, the power of the Saturn V rocket, the toughness of the Ford F-150. Hell yeah! Yeah! I love my F-150. And the awesome might of the American aircraft carriers. Americans must never lose sight of this miraculous story. Renovation. And as soon as he finished his speech, he invaded Poland. And Rupar, another jackass journalist, something Trump anti-something TDS sufferer extraordinaire. Trump offers some remarkably overheated rhetoric. Quote, there's a new far-left fascism that demands absolute allegiance. This left-wing cultural revolution is designed to overthrow the American Revolution. Isn't that what they're saying, Aaron Rupar? Have you heard them in the streets? Holy shit. Oh, wait. Here's what Donald Trump. We must stand tall, or we stand tall, we stand proud, and we only kneel to Almighty God. This is who we are. This is what we believe. And these are the values that will guide us as we will strive to build an even better and greater future. Those who seek to erase our heritage want Americans to forget our pride and our great dignity so that we can no longer understand ourselves or America's destiny. In toppling the heroes of 1776, they seek to dissolve the bonds of love and loyalty that we feel for our country and that we feel for each other. Their goal is not a better America. Their goal is the end of America. Seth Abramson. I don't even know what's happened to this guy. Opposition to Mount Rushmore has to do with the land on which it was built, not a movement to say there should be no statues of any founders anywhere. As for those mentioning 2 statues taken down by a few randos in Portland, is that the movement Trump has described? Seth, God damn, have you been paying attention at all? Seth Abramson? Blue checkmark jackass Seth Abramson? You haven't been paying attention, have you? They tore down the statue of George Washington at George Washington University. Protesters tore down the statue. I'm going to repeat this. Of George Washington at George Washington University.
Your life makes me sad.
President Trump. And then right here, naval tribal leaders are calling for the removal of Mount Rushmore. Really, motherfuckers? I know there's a dispute about the land. A few randos. Jennifer Rubin. The Washington Post's Jennifer. Excuse me. Let me clarify here. The Washington Post conservative blogger Jennifer Rubin. What the fuck? Those who seek to erase our heritage want Americans to forget our pride and our great dignity so that we can no longer understand ourselves or America's destiny. The heritage of the Confederacy. Say what? What? At Rushmore, Trump says protesters seek to defame heroes. Now, we've talked about this before. Well, the president talked about this before. After Charlottesville. And I don't think that he necessarily gave one way or the other about the Statue of Lee, but that's what they were tearing down there. And Donald Trump said, well, okay, I get it. You want to tear down the statues to Confederate people, okay? But is that where it's going to stop? Or are they going to come around to the founding fathers? Because some of them held slaves. Oh, are some of those statues coming down? Are they defacing? They defaced the Lincoln Memorial. They defaced a memorial to black servicemen in World War II. They defaced and tore down statues of abolitionists. Statues. One in Wisconsin that was about women's rights. They tore down the damn statue. They're tearing down statues of General Grant, the general that won the Civil War. The heritage of the Confederacy. What speech were you reading, you moron? I need to get a Dooms fucking moron soundbite. I just thought of that. Trump vows Mount Rushmore will stand forever, as some call to remove the monument. Really? American Taliban? The Washington Post again. Perspective. It's time to reconsider the global legacy of July 4th, 1776. Yes, that is an editorial in the Washington fucking Post. Donald Trump. My fellow citizens, America's destiny is in our sights. America's heroes are embedded in our hearts. America's future is in our hands. And ladies and gentlemen, the best is yet to come. This has been a great honor for the First Lady and myself to be with you. I love your state, South Dakota. I love this country. I'd like to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. To all, God bless you. God bless your families. God bless our great military. And God bless America. Thank you very much. Now, that's not the entire speech. But I'm not going to go through the whole thing. And then we had Robert Costa, who I can't remember where he's from. But here's the part about the argument. President Trump's unyielding push to preserve Confederate symbols and the legacy of white domination was crystallized by his harsh denunciation of the racial justice movement Friday night at Mount Rushmore. Oops. Jesus Christ. Now here's what the president said. Angry mobs are trying to tear down statues of our founders, deface our most sacred memorials, and unleash a wave of violent crime in our cities. Facts! Many of these people have no idea why they are doing this, but some know exactly what they are doing. They think the American people are weak and soft and submissive, but no, the American people are strong and proud, and they will not allow our country and its values, history, and culture to be taken from them. Thank you, C. Thomas, for another $2 on the Super Chat machine. C. Thomas says, most of the inbred brainlets who tear our culture down, regardless of whose a statue commemorates, are also the same worthless Horsons? I don't know what Horsons, WHORESONs, who accuse us, actual Americans, of being hateful, ignorant fascists, while they prance like fairies, being just that. Yeah, it's becoming ironic hearing some of these protesters calling anybody fascists. Okay. So anyway, they get to that with USA. Let's see. All right. So anyway, that's that thread. Just it's like they all had the Democratic talking points in their hands while they were waiting for Trump to speak, and all used the same kind of terminology, all use the same, loaded language, just to I don't know. It's sanity when you actually read the speech or you listen to the speech, and then you come out and hear, oh, this is dark and divisive? Talking about what the founders meant by creating, even if the founders didn't always live up to everything that they wrote, what they wrote was a brilliant roadmap to what we want to be. And yet, the only divisiveness is coming from the media. And it's a drumbeat of divisiveness. They just want, and a good example of that. Now, it's funny. Let me see if I can find this one. I also have another bookmark of something said about the governor of South Dakota. Do I have it here? I thought I did. Oh, yeah. So, hey, it got taken down. She replied to a tweet here. Okay. So NPR put up or The Hill. Oh, The Hill took it down. Oh, I wish I would have bookmarked this. So anyway, The Hill put up a tweet and an article that was saying that Governor Kristi Noem was she said something about she was talking about Mount Rushmore and how they were around the country, they were defacing statues and tearing down statues of founding fathers, which is a fact. And so The Hill put out this really just misleading article. It was a misleading headline because here's what Kristi Noem said. Here's what she actually said. Across America these last several weeks, we have been witnessing a very troubling situation unfold in real time. We are watching an organized, coordinated campaign to remove and eliminate all references to our nation's founding and many other points in our history, Noem said at a 4th of July celebration at Mount Rushmore with President Trump. The approach focuses exclusively on our forefathers' flaws, but it fails to capitalize on the opportunity to learn from their virtues, she added. Make no mistake, this is being done deliberately to discredit America's founding principles by discrediting the individuals who formed them so that America can be remade into a different political image. Well, journalists, all reading the Hill article, believing she said something completely different, says, here's Joy Reid from MSDNC, MSNPC, MSNBC, whatever the hell you want to call it. Hey, hi, Reese Donald, by the way, and Big Assassin 80. I did, and Tales of Gore, Mr. Scott, Sugar Blue Driftwood. Welcome, all of you. So, Joy Reid from MSNBC. Wait, Kristi Noem thinks the Confederate general who fought a civil war against America, killed U.S. troops, and declared themselves to be a separate, forever slave-holding country 87 years after the cleave from Britain. She thinks they are our founding fathers. Joy Reid, you're a moron and you read a headline that you didn't pay attention to what the actual headline said. I wish they would have left it up. I should have screenshot it. So The Hill tells a lie, an absolute egregious lie. Mainstream journalists don't bother to verify, promoting the lie, and the message spreads to millions. Tell me again how Facebook posts by senior citizens with 40 followers are the problem.
Gotcha, bitch.
I'm telling you, that's exactly right. So here's a couple of contrasts here. This has nothing to do with that, but this is a quote from May. Was it May? No, was it March or May? Oh, I'm sorry. May 5th? Well, I think the 3.4% is really a false number. Now, and this is just my hunch, but based on a lot of conversations with a lot of people that do this, because a lot of people have this and it's very mild, they'll get better very rapidly. They don't even see a doctor. They don't even call the doctor. Trump said. Okay? And just from a couple days ago, on Thursday, the World Health Organization held a 2-day online meeting of 1,300 scientists from around the world. And the agency's chief scientist, Dr. Suima Swaminathan, I don't know, said the consensus for now was that the IFR is about 0.6%, which means that the risk of death is less than 1%. Now, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this on the YouTubes anymore, but it is a direct quote from the WHO. So that's that. All right, let's go do some. I got some random articles. Let's just go through a few of these, and then we'll get into some trends. So here's the first random article of the day. In Minneapolis. This is from the Minnesota Minneapolis Star Tribune. Some Minneapolis black leaders speak out against the city council's move to defund police. Now, I've always thought this was an ironic idea in the first place. Rather than take money from them, they should be funding the police more for more training, more, I don't know, de-escalation training and whatever they should be doing, and better pay so that more people are attracted to the profession that, aren't just there for a paycheck. But anyway, they didn't ask all the black people in Minneapolis before they thought of this idea. While the movement to defund the police has been driven by black activists, others say that city politicians rushed the process and failed to include a police chief who has the backing of many black residents. Oh, okay. Egregious, grotesque, absurd, crazy, and ridiculous. These are a handful of the words that some local African-American leaders are using to rebuke the Minneapolis City Council's moves towards dismantling the police department, even as they demand an overhaul of law enforcement. While the movement to defund the police has been driven by black activists, others say that city politicians rushed the process and failed to include a police chief who has the backing of many black residents. They have shown a complete disregard for the voices and perspectives of many members of the African American community, said Nakima Levy Armstrong, a civil rights attorney and former president of the Minneapolis chapter of the NAACP. We have not been consulted as the city makes its decisions, even though our community is the one most heavily impacted by both police violence and community violence. Well, again, the police, look, I am not, unnecessary police violence is a problem, but it's a minuscule problem compared to the community violence. A month after George Floyd died under the knee of a police officer, the city council unanimously voted Friday to revise the city charter to permit the dismantling of the police department, the first step towards putting the matter to voters on the November ballot. Good luck with that. I'm telling you, Minneapolis is liberal, but it's not that liberal anymore. Not after this ordeal. I think there's 1,500 business owners that could rally a little support for a little more police protection. But anyway, the ordinance, which the Charter Commission discussed during a meeting Wednesday, would abolish the city's current law enforcement structure in favor of a Department of Community Safety and Violence Prevention, otherwise known as a fucking police department. Okay, sorry, I yelled. Anyway, so I think it's funny that it also raises questions about the future of Madera Arredondo, the city's first black police chief. Thank you, C. Thomas, with the $2 super chat. Who says? C. Thomas says, the Minneapolis City Council would rather piss away money on private security for council members and take away police from everyone else instead of reform. Police for me, but not for thee. Hypocrites. Yes, sir. That is definitely. I think the crowd likes it too. Well done, C. Thomas. Thank you, sir. The measure doesn't preclude a chief with a traditional policing background, but it requires the head of the new agency to have non-law enforcement experience in community safety services, included but not limited to public health and/or restorative justice approaches. Arredondo joined the department as a patrol officer in 1989 in his early 20s. Yeah, this dude came up through the ranks. He's a good dude too. I've actually been heard of a lot about him, and he's been doing his best to, he's been active in the community. He's highly respected in Minneapolis. Let's just put it that way. And now when you have an African-American chief who is highly regarded and trusted in the black community, said Stephen Belton, president and CEO of the Urban League at Twin Cities, this strikes me as being passive-aggressive Minnesota nice on steroids. Yep. This is a hit on Chief Arredondo. So anyway, yeah, so the bottom line is not everybody likes this, what's a good word for this? Fuckatry that is going on in Minneapolis. Moving on. California. Oh my God, California. I'll put these on the screen now. I kind of left that one off. I don't know why. Apparently now in California, singing in houses of worship has been banned under a new order from Newsom as the pandemic worsens.
Your life makes me sad.
Oh my God, Gavin Newsom. Californians are still free to attend their house of worship, but they're forbidden from singing or chanting. Now, I wonder if he realized that this would also affect Muslims, but we'll see if he understands that. Updated COVID-19 guidelines issued Wednesday by the State Department of Public Health requires churches and other houses of worship to discontinue singing and chanting activities. In previously allowing religious organizations to reopen in late May, the state merely said these institutions should strongly consider discontinuing singing, group recitation, and other practices and performances. Health agencies such as the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say shouting or singing can spread the coronavirus just as easy as coughing or sneezing. Even if you wear a mask, I got questions. I have questions. California's health department agrees, and as Governor Gavin Newsom begins tightening protocols during a resurgence of the pandemic, it now says singing and chanting are outright banned. Now, I want to see body cams of the first SWAT team that enters a church because they are singing inside. I want the body cam footage. Oh my God. So not even with a mask you can't sing or chant. You know how like in most religions, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, and others, reciting certain phrases together is kind of common. Remember the the phrase that I am going to immortalize pretty soon? It's in the chat right now. Okay, moving on. New York Times has been. Oh, here's. I meant to read this article too. The New York Times has been just destroyed for this description of Trump's Mount Rushmore speech as dark and divisive. Does this apply to synagogues and mosques? Yes, it does. All houses of worship. Well, I make a night and exhale. I think your question is actually, does it apply to synagogues and mosques evenly? I'll bet you that I'll bet you a dime to a donut, whatever that means, that the Crystal Palace in California is much more likely to be raided than any mosque. Now, if it was New York City and it was Bill de Blasio, I'm sure that the synagogues would be raided first. But in California, they are going to raid the churches first. They're going to have SWAT teams. Soon as the choir, the socially distanced choir, as soon as they start singing, the SWAT team's going to enter, breaking down the doors. Stop, put your hands behind your head, and there'll be mayhem. All right, New York Times ripped for describing Trump's Mount Rushmore speech as dark and divisive. The New York Times took it on the chin on Twitter after a critical report characterizing President Donald Trump's Friday night speech at Mount Rushmore as dark and divisive. The Trump speech centered on patriotism, rule of law, and the veneration of heroes and the protection of monuments honoring them. It also included a firm rebuke to those who would deface Mount Rushmore, as they have so many other statues and monuments. I'm here as your president to proclaim before the country and before the world. This monument will never be desecrated. These heroes will never be defaced. Their legacy will never be destroyed. Their legacy will never ever be destroyed. Their achievements will not be forgotten. And Mount Rushmore will stand forever as an eternal tribute to our forefathers and our freedom, the president said to chants of USA, USA, USA from the crowd. However, the New York Times White House correspondent Annie Carney saw the speech as dark and divisive in an effort to redefine the election as a battle against the far left. Standing in a packed amphitheater, this is her describing it. Standing in a packed amphitheater in front of Mount Rushmore for an Independence Day celebration, President Trump delivered a dark and divisive speech on Friday that cast his struggling effort to win a second term as a battle against new far-left fascism seeming to wipe out the nation's values and history, Carney wrote. Now, first of all, this was not a campaign speech. And so it's funny that she goes into his struggling effort to win a second term. Fuck that. It was just a speech for his 4th of July. The Times tweet of the story drew a bevy of criticism from Trump supporters. Here's a sampling. It was a pro-American speech, which the New York Times clearly is not. Growing up in New York, there's no doubt that the New York Times is a joke. I don't say this lightly. Go fuck yourself. I really sincerely mean it. America hasn't had enough of your far-left lunacy. And Siraj Sharami gave the old take your phone away check mark. Oh, I don't want to. Never mind. That's his kind of thing now. Of the take away your blue check mark, take away your phone. Andrew Follett, you know what? You know what you are, the New York Times? You are fake news. Of course, the establishment media would consider patriotism dark and divisive. Whoops. Insane propaganda. You deserve the ratio, you lying, demented activist. Matt Whitlock, the president is far from the only one who believes mob destruction of monuments and historical sites need to be stopped. What the hell was that? Okay. The radical left is coming after our monuments, our history, even the 4th of July. Our chairman, Todd Young, Indiana, explains what this Independence Day is so important. Okay. If by dark and divisive you mean patriotic and unifying, then yes. Anyway, they took a beating. Enough of that. All right, moving on. Here's a whole totally different take, though. Oops, what the hell happened there? Okay, did that work? I think I'm gonna get it. Okay, here we go. In the New York Post, Miranda Devine thinks Rushmore was Trump at his best. Oh. Interesting. Oh, what happened there? Oh, shit. That didn't work. Okay. Well, we lost that article. Let's see if I can find it again. Hang on. I accidentally hit the... let's see. Un momento, por favor. All right, we're going to skip that one. Anyway, the New York Post had a little bit different take on it. CNN sucks. Hello, how are you? The most redundant name in the chat today. Kessler, what's up? Will it Forge, happy post 4th of July. Okay, moving on. Next one, I'll just skip that one. Apparently, Black Lives Matter also totally shut down the nation on Independence Day, the nation's capital, excuse me. Black Lives Matter protests broke out in the nation's capital on Independence Day, resulting in the highway between Washington, D.C. and Virginia being shut down. The protesters started off Independence Day by dancing and stepping on an American flag at Black Lives Matter Plaza, chanting, "Fuck the 4th of July" and "Fuck the American flag." Well, fuck you. Later in the afternoon, a group burned an American flag outside the White House while chanting, "America was never great." Well, the fact that you're able to stand on the flag and burn a flag outside of the White House in this nation should tell you that America is pretty great, because no one's throwing your sorry asses in jail, and nor should they. You're protesting, and you can protest in that very offensive manner in the United States, which makes America great. You know the term American exceptionalism? American exceptionalism doesn't mean that we're better than everybody else. American exceptionalism means that there are things that you can do in this country that you really just can't do in most other countries. For example, protest your country right in front of the Capitol building, burning the flag of your country during a protest without being shot. Capiche? That's what American exceptionalism is. Oh, that kind of flew right over your head, didn't it? Fuckwads. Protesters outside have now set a big American flag on fire while chanting that America was never great. Then they left the park and got in a fight with Trump supporters at the Washington Monument. People fought over a pole that had a "Don't Tread on Me" flag, a Trump flag, and an American flag on it. The protesters screamed at police when they tried to come break up the fight. And they also got into a screaming match with Trump supporters. Here's that. Let's see. Let's see.
Domestic terrorist piece of shit.
Okay, so this just seems to be an argument. I don't know if it ever turned into a fight. I haven't really looked at any of these videos. So I don't know if this even goes into it, but anyway. All right. Anyway, so then a group of anti-police protesters made their way to the Washington Monument, where they encountered pro-Trump supporters. A fight broke out over control of a pole that had American Trump and Don't Tread on Me flags. That's this right here. I don't know if the scuffle ever shows up here. I'd have knocked her ass out if she hit me. So anyway, people are annoying. Anyway, another group also began marching at Black Lives Matter Plaza Street in front of Lafayette Square, where people were holding an Occupy 8th Street protest. Tents and barriers had been set up to block the area off. You can see that in the picture there. I'm not going to run that video. Protesters marched down I Street, turned towards the Capitol building. The group got in a standoff with police when officers formed a line in front of the Trump Hotel. Eventually, the protesters were able to make their way onto the highway, resulting in D.C. traffic coming to its total standstill. And they had a parade all the way through D.C., kind of fucked up shit all over the place. So anyway, moving on. Communists organized flag burnings in some major cities, including outside the White House. 1, 2, 3, 4, slavery, genocide, and war. That's only 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, America was never great is what they were chanting. On Independence Day, the Revolutionary Communist Party organized flag burnings in Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York City. The radical group chanted 1, 2, 3, 4, slavery, genocide, and war. 5, 6, 7, 8, America was never great as the flag burned. And that happened outside the White House also. We already saw that one. If you're wondering about the bright orange shirts with "Out Now" featured on the front, this is apparently the latest effort to remove President Trump and Vice President Pence from office. I guess they're supposed to see the t-shirts, hear the imbecilic chant, and immediately resign. Yep, they think that's what's going to happen. The communist group is committed clearly to turning America into a communist dystopia, and they're apparently quite content to divert attention from the George Floyd protests and riots with this stunt. From Town Hall, members from the Revolutionary Communist Party organized flag burnings in cities across the United States to coincide with Independence Day to protest the country's and the Trump administration and to exercise their right to burn the American flag. Trump is attempting to overturn the decision in my Supreme Court case, Texas versus Johnson, that decided burning the flag in protest is constitutionally protected speech. Trump is fighting for a fascist clamp down on forced patriotism by criminalizing disrespect for the flag. He's forcing respect for the flag, Gregory Joey Johnson said in a statement. A year in jail for flag burning, forced patriotism equals fascism. I'm going to defy Trump by burning that flag, and you should do the same. Now, my personal thought on burning the flag. It is a symbolic form of speech. I think it's disgusting, but I don't think the Supreme Court got it wrong. The only thing that I would say is you better bring your own fucking flag, because you burn my flag and you're not going to like the result. Capiche? The communist leaders, of course, know that America is and always has not just been great, but exceptional. But some in this young crowd are clearly convinced that America is awful and must be destroyed. Evidence to the contrary is readily available. Not that they dare hear a word against their delusions. That's just a little editorial comment by the fuzzy slippers who wrote that. Hello, no room for no room for squares. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, I'm running out of time here. This is just about the riots. Oh, Portland. Do I even need to read this one? All I have to do is say is Portland. Riots exploded in Portland overnight. Protesters target police headquarters, jails, and courthouse. This is from July 4th, or that happened July 4th. This is from July 5th. Ongoing demonstrations in Portland, Oregon, which have occasionally devolved into violence. Occasionally? They devolve into violence every night. Exploded into all-out riots on July 4th as protesters targeted police headquarters, jails, and a federal courthouse. Nearly a dozen people were arrested Saturday as unrest in the city entered its 38th day, Portland police said. Federal agents arrested at least one person who will likely be charged with trying to destroy a federal building. Portland police officially declared the situation a riot around 11 p.m. Saturday, which is, a day ending in Y in Portland. According to Fox News, and were unable to quell the unrest. Per the department's official social media accounts, Portland police were so consumed with containing the destruction that they were unable to respond to anything other than emergency calls. PPB is handling emergency calls only citywide at this time. The department tweeted around 11 p.m. local time. Many calls for police service are holding in each precinct. We want the crowd downtown to disperse so we can assist community members who need our assistance. Police moved against the gathering crowd around 10 p.m. Saturday night, just as a throng of demonstrators began firing at projectiles and fireworks at the federal courthouse towards the center of Portland, where the crowds have been gathering for over a month to protest police brutality. No, in Portland, they were not protesting police brutality. In Portland, they were just being their normal asshat selves. I'm sorry. They honestly, I bet half of them don't even know George Floyd's name. Or if you asked them who George Floyd was, they'd be like, I don't know. Anyway, that's a regular. That's like I said, a night ending in Y. I don't need to read the whole thing. Last one that I'm going to do today is regarding the two young people. Oh, we have another super chat from Bubba Hotep. What's up? I didn't even see you in the chat. I apologize. And also, good morning to Richard Cranium. And another Monotream. That's a new one. Burning my flag is a valuable enough flag. It's first regard. Yeah, that's true. I know. Don't touch my flag. Thank you, Bubba Hotep. With the with the shake weight, the best shake weight, my favorite shake weight. 2222, thank you. Maxwell Hotep says, I think we could all use a bit of happiness from all the BS. So have a shake weight. Right on. That is definitely one of my favorite alerts. Thank you, sir. Greatly appreciated, and I appreciate the support. So I know everyone's seen the Jaguar that sent two girls flying 60 feet down the highway, and very sadly, one of them has passed away. I am not one to say, the playing stupid games win student prizes in this particular case. Now, in theory, the police in Seattle had helped block off this freeway, and this guy was coming down the wrong way, swerved. One person got out of the way, and when he swerved again, the two girls ran right into the path of the car, got flipped in the air, and it was brutal when I saw this. I saw this Sunday morning when I was going through Twitter, and it was brutal. 2 girls, 1 coop. Oh, cracked. I don't have a corner. I've said that many times, but ooh, you might be in that one if there were a corner to be in. Ouch, cracked. Too soon? Yeah, maybe. It's funny though. I'm sorry. I have to admit that was funny. Good morning, Straight Sith Mail too. Good news, the car is going to make it. You all are brutal. Anyway, so the one girl who they keep describing as they, them, because she's non-binary, but she is is it disrespectful to call her a her? She's female. Pronouns to me are not about your gender, they're about your sex. If I'm not sure, whatever. So one of Black Lives, what's funny too, as I've been reading the accounts of this, like on Twitter and the few newspaper accounts that have even covered this, there's something very peculiar. So they describe the female human being that the female human beings who were hit by this vehicle as Black Lives Matter protesters or activists. And usually when you see an article like this about people being, especially if they're Black Lives Matter protesters, and then a car hits them, because there's been a big thing about, oh yeah, people are using cars as weapons. Oh, white supremacists are using cars as weapons. The Boogaloo people are using cars as weapons. And it's a white Jaguar. The car is white, but then they say, they arrested the driver. Now, what's hilarious? Well, hilarious? I don't know. Ironic? I don't know. Let's just say it's interesting. What's interesting is that none of the major media outlets who describe this incident ever really mention the race of the driver. They don't show a picture of the person who's been arrested. Now they have a mugshot of the man who was arrested. 2 Black Lives Matters protesters struck by a car while blocking Interstate 5 early July 4th has died, and her death has forced state cops to rethink their permissive policies, allowing protesters to take over freeways. By the way, he's a black man. He's a Somalian immigrant. But definitely the Jaguar was white. Summer Taylor was blocking the freeway with a small group of Black Lives Matter demonstrators on the southbound lane of I-5, the main artery through Seattle, about 1:30 a.m. Saturday. The 27-year-old man was arrested. Police identified him as Dawit Kalete and say that he was sober. Summer Taylor, a non-binary Black Lives Matter activist who was hit by a car while protesting on I-5 freeway in Seattle, has died. Dawit Kalete, who is black, is accused of being the driver and was arrested. Now that's Andy No who wrote that. The situation in which a black man is charged for the death of a white woman demonstrating for Black Lives Matter has sent millions of people to the woke version of political rock, paper, scissors. I can see the rock, paper, scissors imaginary discussion now. Okay, idiots block the freeway. Agreed, they're idiots. Yeah, but they were Black Lives Matter idiots blocking the freeway, so it must be okay. Right. But the white chick was involved in a Black Lives Matter idiots blocking the freeway. Sure, okay. A man drove a car hitting a white woman at a Black Lives Matter protest. Are you sure it was a white chick? Yes, dude sent her into the hospital and she died. What? Kill him! But the white chick was killed, and she was apparently killed by a black man, Dawit Kalete. Wait, the driver was black? Yeah, the driver was black who killed the white chick. Free Dawit Kalete! Wait, why did the cops let anyone go on the freeway? Because they were Black Lives Matter. Defund the police! Heads explode. Here's where we insert equal protection under the law information. I'd write it, but you already know it. So, do police and So do police and elected officials, that they never seem to observe it as a question for the voters. Are you listening? Anyway, turns out the driver had to somehow get around a Washington State Highway Patrol blockade put up to protect protesters. NPR reports investigators don't know why Colette jumped onto the freeway at another spot. The Washington State Patrol said Saturday that the driver of a white Jaguar sedan, a 27-year-old man, is in custody. At this point, officers have not offered a motive, though Captain Ron Mead said officers believe the suspect was not impaired. At a news conference early Saturday, Mead did not offer further details on how authorities believe the man bypassed a police closure to reach his victims. But he warned that the incident offers a stark lesson for protesters. My hope is, as a result of this tragedy, protesters will reconsider their desire to be on the interstate, he said, because I cannot guarantee their safety, plain and simple. No, you read that right. The Washington State Patrol set up barricades allowing the protesters to flood the freeways. Now, so they're rethinking the policy. And this obviously could have been avoided. It was brutal. I don't think I'm going to show it here. She struck like anyway, they next day decided to set up another protest. Anyway, I'm so close to just saying, I feel bad for this girl's parents. I don't even know, what do you call a non-binary person? I know they and them. I feel sorry for their parents. I just do. It's like, and this. I really wondered why this dude did this. Was he trying to get somewhere and got lost? Was he, because he was trying to get to the freeway and it was blocked at one point, so he went another way and then went the wrong way. Just get off the fucking freeway. It was just a matter of time before this shit happened. All right, do I have time for either of these two? Let's see, this one. Okay, no, I don't care about that one. And I don't care about that one. All right, let's just do a quick perusal through the Twitter trends. Before I do that, thank you Chi-Town Jay and Skookum for retweeting the show. Again, the Morning Night Live is brought to you by the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Share this show out. If you like what we do, hit the like button. I notice we have, let's see, update 60 people in the house. Holy moly, that's fantastic. Good morning, Dark Isle. Hello, Katie the Skate. 61, holy shit. Well, there's only 29 likes, so if you like what happens here, hit the like button. Thank you, Bubba Hotep with the 4.99, who says, are the BLM protesters on the freeway trying to create a corona blockade since it doesn't affect BLM protesters? Well, that very well could be. See, Thomas, thank you. I see you're heading out. Have a fantastic day. Make sure you say happy birthday to Gamer Valine, because I'm just going to keep saying it now because I think it's funny. But happy birthday, Gamer Valine. Thank you, Bubba Hotep. I'm pretty sure. What was that girl's name? Summer Taylor? I'm sorry, not girl. What do you call a non-binary person? Do you just say, what was that non-binary person's name? Summer Taylor? If they list her death on her death certificate that she died from COVID-19, you know where I'm going with this. All right, let's check the trends on Twitter. What's on the Explore tab today? Is it something Italian composer. Oh, it's gone already. It changed white in the middle. Let's see. Supreme Court rules that states can penalize so-called faithless electors. Oh, interesting. The U.S. Supreme Court unanimous decision out of the Supreme Court is pretty rare. Let's see. Ruled on Monday that states can punish electoral college members who refuse to support the candidate who won a statewide presidential balloting. Now, that is fascinating. Here's why it's fascinating to me, and this is the first thing that popped in my head when I read that sentence. So there are states where they have this initiative that's popping up in several states called the Popular Vote Initiative, where some of these states, if enough of them sign on to the popular vote initiative, they will take the winner of the national popular vote and have all their electors vote for the person who won the popular vote, regardless of what their state did. This may put a monkey wrench into that plan. Okay, let's see. This is only a 2-minute video. Let's check out this video.
Well, this was a case that we were watching and political people were very interested in. It had to do with...
Here, let me pause this for a second. We got thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
With the 420, you know what that 420 means? So these dumb bitches dressed in black were protesting on a freeway at night and behaved like NPCs on the Mafia 3 game by jumping in front of oncoming traffic.
That's right.
I'm glad the car will make a full recovery. Oh,
that's right.
We've got more of those. Yeah, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I'm not supposed to laugh at that, but I did. I couldn't help it. Sorry. All right, here we go.
Actually vote for the president in December. The people who make up what's known as the Electoral College. When you go to the polls in November, you're actually not voting for the actual candidates. You're voting for a slate of electors who meet in your state in mid-December and cast the actual vote for president. And the question before the Supreme Court was, when they meet in December, must they vote as the majority in their state did, or are they free agents? Can they vote for whomever they wish? And today, the Supreme Court, in a unanimous ruling, said, no, they're not free agents. They must vote according to the way the state apportions the votes. Now, in 48 of the states,
hang on.
all the electors...
Okay, that line clarifies my question. He said they must vote in the way the state apportions the votes. Now, that could be a problem too. Because with this popular vote initiative, well, the states decide how they apportion the votes. Let's say, for example, it's Trump and Biden. Okay. And they're going by the popular vote initiative. Trump wins the popular vote. But Biden would win the Electoral College, but by their popular vote initiative, because Trump won the popular vote, their electors, according to their law, the way they apportion the votes, would have to vote for Trump. See how that popular vote initiative could backfire on them? Or even better yet, here's my favorite scenario. Trump wins the Electoral College, and by a slight margin wins the popular vote in the next election. And let's say the popular vote initiative was in effect. California, which probably wouldn't go for Trump, that's unlikely. California, as part of the popular vote initiative, would have to give all their electoral votes to Donald Trump. That would be hilarious. I would just be laughing my ass off. Anyway, that's an interesting ruling. I'm not going to read any of the articles, but you can kind of make what you want of that one. Let's get into the actual Twitter trends right now. Number one on Bubba Wallace is trending. Oh, God. Oh, no. Okay, now, again, anytime I read an article about something Trump says, I never know if it's really what Trump said until I go back and actually look at exactly what Trump says. But Bubba Wallace is trending because, according to Sports Illustrated, now this is, SI has gone right into the deep end of leftist politics, just like everybody else. Trump falsely accuses Bubba Wallace of noose hoax, criticizes NASCAR's Confederate flag ban. I want to know exactly, Donald Trump attacked driver Bubba Wallace in NASCAR in a tweet Monday morning, baselessly alleging that Wallace perpetuated a hoax when a rope fashioned as a noose was found in his garage. The president also criticized NASCAR's decision to ban the Confederate flag from races, claiming it had led to low ratings. Has Bubba Wallace apologized for all those great NASCAR drivers and officials who came to his aid, stood by his side, and were willing to sacrifice everything for him, only to find out that the whole thing was another hoax? Trump tweeted. Now, interesting there. In that tweet that I just read, did he blame Bubba Wallace for the hoax itself? Did he blame Bubba Wallace for the hoax? Should Bubba Wallace have apologized to anybody? In fact, I think Bubba Wallace, in a very weird way, kind of did tuck his tail between the legs and say, you know what, sorry, this is, it was reasonable for think this was it, but it wasn't it, and so we acknowledge that. But he didn't okay, anyway. That and the flag decision has caused the lowest ratings ever. Wallace is NASCAR's only black full-time driver. In late June, NASCAR announced that it found a noose in Wallace's garage at Talladega International Speedway the days after the organization, partially at Wallace's urging, had banned the Confederate flag from races. Wallace did not find or report the noose. Anyway, that's because Sports Illustrated writes an article, he is trending. Thank you, Gamer Valine, for another 420. It's a 420 day. Gamer Valine says, only 3 states are winner takes all. The rest have to give their votes to the district's choice. By the way, albino jaguars are rare and usually starve as they have trouble blending for their natural nocturnal hunts. Oh, God. Wait a minute. Only 3 states are winner take all? The rest have to give their vote to the district's choice. I'm not so sure about that. I know that there are 2 states that, like, for example, Nebraska apportions them so you could split theirs. Most states are winner take all. That's what I thought. Maybe I don't know. Now you got me thinking I'm not sure about something, and I got to look it up. I thought most of the states were winner take all on the electoral votes, except for Nebraska, and I can't think of the other states. But anyway, all right, I'll have to look that up. Oh God, let's see. I click Bubba Wallace. New NASCAR driver Tyler Reddick fires back at President Trump's calls for an apology from Bubba Wallace. We don't need an apology. What we did, what was right, and we will do just fine without your support. Okay, snap back. Oh, but Brian Krassenstein, or his uglier twin brother, who tweet under the name of one of their wives, says, implying that a black man, Bubba Wallace, needs to apologize for reporting a noose in his garage is almost as racist as actually putting a noose in Mr. Wallace's garage. The president is racist. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, Lindsey Graham's Igor Babak says, I don't think Bubba Wallace has anything to apologize for. Lindsey Graham says on Fox News Radio, read Trump's tweet, you saw the best in NASCAR. They all rallied to Bubba's side. I would be looking to celebrate that kind of attitude rather than being worried it's a hoax. You know, I don't normally, often, I rarely am enthusiastic about my support for Lindsey Graham's statements, because a lot of times he just is a marshmallow. But I think he's correct on this one. Bubba Wallace does not necessarily owe the other drivers an apology. I don't think, and it was actually kind of cool that they did rally around him, but it was a hoax, and I think he acknowledged that it was not what they thought it was. So whatever. I think, well, if the president tweets it, they will come. All right. Moving on. I got to get done now. Let's see. Monday motivations. I'll skip that. And Ennio Morricone, the Italian composer, dies at age 91. Probably from COVID. Army Selka Day, that's K-pop stuff. Electoral College, that was the ruling from the Supreme Court. I'm curious. Let's see if there's any people pissed. Supreme Court today ruled to protect the Electoral College, but the leftist threat to our Constitution and honest elections continues. He's the president of Judicial Watch. Now again, as I said, the electors are required to cast their votes as their states apportion votes. Now, if their states apportion votes by a different way, it makes me wonder if the liberal court justice thought that way too, because some states are trying to get in this pact with other states called the Popular Vote Initiative. So that's interesting. SCOTUS today, faithful electors are no more as long as a state requires electors to follow the popular vote for president. And all states should. The Electoral College needs serious reform or abolition, but allowing anonymous electors to ignore the people's will is wrong. Okay, that's an interesting way to put it. Completely correct and logical ruling here for the Supreme Court. Whatever party you support, it's lawless when electors unilaterally defy the will of the voters of their states. Yep. Ding. Interesting. All right, I'll read into that deeper for tomorrow. Maybe we'll have follow up on that. Trump virus. That's the activist. Trump. The hashtag activists are out. Central Park 5 is trending. Don't know why. Did Trump say something about them? Can we cut? Oh, God. Can we stop calling these people the Central Park 5 and start calling them the Exonerated 5? Well, they weren't exonerated. That's the thing. They were let out based on DNA evidence, but they're still... oh, God. Well, I don't know. There's a whole lot more to that story than anyone knows. But why... Okay. So, because of Trump's tweet, they are bringing up the Central Park 5, too. Whatever. Okay. Moving on. International Kissing Day. Okay, go find somebody to kiss. I'm going to skip that. NASDAQ's trending. Zoom. Okay, I don't know why. I'm going to skip it. Dakota Access. Judge orders Dakota Access pipeline shut down pending a review. Oh, my. Let's see here. This is interesting. In Fargo, a federal judge on Monday sided with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. They've been fighting this for years. And another federal judge has intervened. Federal judge on... God, stop scrolling back on me. A federal judge on Monday sided with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe and ordered the Dakota Access pipeline to shut down until more environmental review is done. This has been the most reviewed freaking... Come on. This has been probably the most reviewed pipeline in the history of pipelines. In a 24-page order, U.S. District Judge James Boasberg wrote that he was mindful of the disruption that shutting down a pipeline that has been in operation for 3 years would cause, but that it must be done within 30 days. His order comes after he said in April that the pipeline remained highly controversial. That doesn't matter if the pipeline is controversial. Under federal environmental law, and a more extensive review was necessary than the assessment that was done. Really? Judge, no, this is just unbelievable. Clear precedent favoring vacatur during such a remand, coupled with the seriousness of the Corps' deficiency, outweighs the negative effects of halting the oil flow for 13 months that the Corps believes the creation of an EIS will take. Boasberg wrote Monday. Boasberg had ordered both parties to submit briefs on whether the pipeline should continue operating during the environmental review. The pipeline was the subject of months of protests, sometimes violent, during its construction near the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation that straddles the North Dakota-South Dakota border. The Standing Rock tribe presses litigation against the pipeline even after it began carrying oil from North Dakota across South Dakota and Iowa and to a shipping point in Illinois in June 2017. Jan Hasselman, attorney for the Standing Rock tribe, tweeted news of Boasberg's ruling and said, stunning. Texas-based Energy Transfer, the pipeline owner, didn't immediately respond to a message seeking comment. The $3.8 billion, 1,172-mile underground pipeline crosses beneath the Missouri River just north of the Standing Rock Reservation. The tribe draws its water from the river and fears pollution. Energy Transfer insisted the pipeline would be safe. The company last year proposed doubling the capacity from 600,000 barrels per day to as much as 1.1 million barrels, meaning the growing demand for oil shipments from North Dakota without the need for an additional pipeline or rail shipments. I just got to think this is an activist judge. Let's see. Did the tribe get land rental money from the pipe? I think they do, but I don't know. That's been an ongoing battle. I wish I knew more. I wish I knew more details about that. I don't necessarily have an opinion, but that is an interesting decision. Let's see. Bubonic plague. Yes, there is a case of bubonic plague reported in northern China's Inner Mongolia. Yay! Bubonic plague. I'm not gonna click it. I'm just not. Okay, I'm clicking it. Okay, bubonic plague is back again in China's Inner Mongolia. Authorities in the Chinese region of Inner Mongolia are on high alert after a suspected case of bubonic plague, the disease that okay. I just oh, here. I have the perfect answer for that. Hang on. There we go. Jimmy John's is trending. Now, I have an affinity for Jimmy John's because let's see what's, okay. Oh, they want to boycott Jimmy John's. Great. Did everyone forget the elephant hunt photo that quickly? Jimmy John's should have gone out of business already. Well, good luck with that. Social media users are calling for a boycott of Jimmy John's after controversial photos of the sandwich chain CEO surfaced online. Jimmy John's is Jimmy John's is trending because their employees made a fake news out of dough and fake hung one employee. It's stupid, but why is it racist? White men have been hung too. It's actually more racist to think you own hangings. Yeah? So this is why Jimmy John's is trending. Yeah, could that be Benedict? Maybe he's reenacting Benedict Arnold. If the food wasn't enough reason not to eat, so one Jimmy John's location out of around 1,000. This is why you should boycott Jimmy John's. Disgusting behavior. These racist employees at Jimmy John's made a noose with dough. I'm waiting to see if they got fired. Well, I'm pretty sure they're fired by now. But again, black people are not the only people who've been hung. And it does say Happy 4th of July. I'm guessing that might be a reenactment of Benedict Arnold. Holy shit. Are there more companies that support Trump? Papa John's. Okay, whatever. I've been told y'all Jimmy John's was trash. This just solidified my statement. This happened in Woodstock, Georgia at a Jimmy John's. White employees decided to make a noose out of bread dough and mock the lynching of black Americans? Okay, I gotta hear the sound now. Okay. What do you mean,
Jimmy Gallo's interview said, you have disrespected our Lord and Nick, now you're set to die.
Yeah, this mocking black America. What? Who was? He wasn't. He said something about this. Wait.
Jimmy Gallo's interview said, you have disrespected our Lord and Nick, now you're set to die.
Okay, I'm not sure how he disrespected. Mock the lynching of black Americans. Is that what that sounded like to you? I couldn't hear it. No, it's bread dough. It's bread dough. Anyway, I'm sure they are fired now that it's gone, whatever. I'm sure it's in somewhere in Georgia. Someone's going to go burn down the Jimmy John's now. I should be careful today as I'm driving with that Jimmy John sign on my truck. Justice Kagan is trending. Why? Oh, God. What could this be? Looks like SCOTUS has unanimously affirmed the ability of states to punish faithless electors, folks who switch their vote from one presidential candidate to another. Opinion by Justice Kagan. Okay, she wrote the majority opinion. Let's see. Anything else interesting here? Mark Meadows is the chief of staff of the White House. Probably said new White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows says executive orders are coming this week on China and American workers, immigration, and prescription drug prices. Okay. All right. Interesting. We'll find out what those are later. And let's see. I think we might just finish up with that. Anything else here? All right. That's it. That's all I'm going to do because I got to go. Hey, gang, thank you so much for being here at the Morning Night Live. As you know, we're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 1500 GMT for my friends down under and across the pond. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all the people doing Super Chats today. You don't know how great that is to me. If you have not done so, listen to me very carefully. I want you to take your hand like this and make a fist, but point out one knuckle like this, okay? Like this. Now, you're going to move your mouse so that the arrow, or on your phone, you can tap with your finger like this, or if you're on a computer, take that finger and tap it right as your arrow gets over the thumbs up, so we get... Anyway, hit the thumbs up on the way out. And also, thank you for people who share the stream. Everyone share the stream. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notifications. And if you'd like to make donations to the show, you can do that at any time during or not during the show through the Super Chat link down below at pdognight.live. It's the Streamlabs link. And thank you again for the people who did the Super Chats today. Thank you, everybody who came into the show today. Full house today. That was awesome. Bring a friend with you next time, though. Then we'll have it'll only get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's it for today, people. I gotta go. My name is P Dog Night, and I'm out of here. Bye bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Night, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Night, and I'm out of here.